Hi everyone, welcome back to Kristen's Epic Adventures. Today we're continuing our series on the best feature of each Dungeons & Dragons class, in my opinion. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you know when the new videos are posted, share on your social media, and if you found this content helpful, give us a thumbs up so more friends can find us. Welcome back everyone. We're continuing with our series of the best feature of each class, just in my opinion. Remember, I want to hear from you in the comments down below of your opinion, what you think is the best feature of each of these classes. Now today, we're going to be talking about Druids. I've never played a Druid myself, but I've watched a lot of live streams of Dungeons & Dragons games where people played Druids and they look pretty cool. So in doing my research for this video, I read through the Druid and the Player's Handbook all over again. And let's go over some things about Druids and what I think is their coolest feature. So Druids are kind of like a nature-based class. They call upon the elemental forces of nature, or they emulate creatures of the animal world. These are some statements from the Player's Handbook. They're extensions of nature's will. They gain spells and other magical powers from either a force of nature or a nature deity. So your druid can also worship a nature type god if you'd like. Now, because they prefer the balance of the four elements, they usually also, they won't wear armor or shields made of metal, only natural fibered things like leather, armor or wooden shields, things like that. No metal for them. Another interesting thing is they are also proficient in the Herbalism Kit, which, if you didn't know, if you have one, allows you to actually craft healing potions, which might be a really helpful thing for your party. It means you're not always looking for a shop to spend money to buy them. But here's what I think is the absolute best thing about Druids. Now, in the Player's Handbook, Druids can choose between two different Druidic circles. These are different paths that the Druid can take. And my favorite is the Circle of the Moon, and let's go over why that is. Now, Druids choose a circle at second level, and one of the cool things that Druids can do, no matter which circle you choose, is they can wild shape. And wild shape is when a Druid can turn into an animal, but it has to be an animal that they've seen before. You know, you can't just say, I'm going to turn into a polar bear if your character would have never ventured maybe to a cold area and never seen a polar bear. Has to be a creature that they've actually seen before. I'm not sure if they could have seen it in a book or if they have to see it with their own eyes. If you know the answer to that question, let me know down below, because I'm not sure on that one. Might just be a dungeon master ruling on that one. But normally, a druid can wild shape into a creature that they've seen before, and as they level up, they can pick fiercer and fiercer creatures. Now, normally at level 2, you can pick a creature with a challenge rating of 1/4, but they can't fly or swim. At 4th level, you can pick a creature of a challenge rating of a 1/2, and they just can't fly, so now you have swimming ones available. And at 6th level, they can wild shape into a creature with a challenge rating of 1, and they can fly or swim. So that's pretty cool. You could become like an eagle or something. But what Circle of the Moon does is it kind of modifies wild shape, and it does some really cool things. Now, it allows druids to wild shape as a bonus action instead of an action. Normally, just an action. So once you've done it, that's your turn. But if you do Circle of the Moon, you can wild shape as a bonus action. Thought that was pretty awesome to start with. Now, once you're already in wild shape, you can use your bonus action to spend a spell slot to regain 1d8 HP per spell level. That's really cool too. If you're gotten pretty hurt in the latest combat and your hit points aren't up there where they should be, but you don't want to take a short rest and spend hit dice, you can use your bonus action to use spell slots to roll 1d8s. And that's only if you're already in wild shape. So if you've already taken the form of a beast, not in your regular whatever race you've chosen for your druid. Now here's some other cool stuff. Circle of the Moon allows you to pick more dangerous beasts. Remember I said the chart had you at a 1/4, a 1/2, and a 1 for the challenge ratings? Well, if you have Circle of the Moon Druid, instead of a quarter, you can pick challenge rating 1 right at second level. Now, it still uses like the no flying, no swimming as you go up. But right away at level 2, you get challenge rating 1. Then up at level 6, it's your Druid level divided by 3. So at level 6, that would be a challenge rating 2. At level 9, that would be a challenge rating 3. You can imagine some of the more dangerous and ferocious beasts that you can wild shape into if you have Circle of the Moon. Lastly, here's some other things that Circle of the Moon gives you. At 6th level, your attacks in beast form count as magical. Now, this is pretty important because there are some foes out there that either have resistance or immunity to non-magical attacks, meaning if you're just going at them with a sword or something, any kind of like a bow and arrow, they're either not going to take any damage or they're only going to take half. And usually your beasts can do things like bite attacks, claw attacks, if it has a tail, maybe something with its tail, I don't know. But at 6th level, your attacks in beast form all now count as magical attacks. Very good, depending on the type of foe you're up against. Now, at 10th level, you get this really cool feature called Elemental Wild Shape. This just sounds so amazing to me. At 10th level, oh, I also did not mention that you get 2 uses of Wild Shape per long rest, okay? Normally, once you've wild shaped twice, you have to long rest to reset those. If you choose Circle of the Moon, you get 2 uses, but it resets on a short or a long rest. That's another cool feature of Circle of the Moon. So now, going back to Elemental Wild Shape at 10th level, you can take 2 of your uses of Wild Shape and spend them to become an elemental. So that's either an earth, air, water, or fire elemental. Now, if you don't know what these are, I encourage you to look them up in your monster manual, player's handbook. I'm not sure if they're in the player's handbook. They might be, or at least Google them and see what they are. They are pretty amazing creatures to be able to transmute into for, you know, combat reasons or whatever other reasons. That is really cool. So it does use both of your uses of Wild Shape, but come on, becoming an earth, air, fire, or water elemental, how awesome is that? Okay, and lastly, Circle of the Moon at 14th level allows you to cast Alter Self at will, which is a really pretty amazing, powerful spell. I encourage you to go look it up in your player's handbook. I'm not going to go into all the details of that spell here in this video, but those are all the things that a Druid gets if they choose the Circle of the Moon for their Druid circle. I think it's pretty amazing compared to all the options that Druids have available to them. But I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments down below if you think Circle of the Moon is a really cool Druid option, or if there's something else about Druids that you think is just the coolest thing about them. Have you played one? Have you played Circle of the Moon? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Now, our next video is going to be about fighters. Make sure you join us for that one too in this series. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you know when the new videos are posted. If you found this content helpful, maybe share it on your social media and give us a thumbs up so more friends can find us. Thanks. Bye.